Houston has produced some of the NFL's biggest African-American stars, but the 8 icons you're about to see aren't just amazing ballers but have built astonishing wealth empires as well. From Super Bowl champions to controversial quarterbacks sitting on guaranteed hundreds of millions, these guys turned their Houston roots into generational wealth that would make most CEOs jealous. Let's count down the richest black NFL players from Houston, starting with number 8. Number 8. Mike Evans, the Galveston Giant. Let's kick our countdown with Mike Evans, the Galveston native who's quietly been getting rich in Tampa Bay while everyone else was busy chasing headlines. With a net worth around $25 million, Evans might be the lowest on this list, but don't let that fool you. This guy is absolutely printing money and doing it with zero drama, which is rare as hell in today's NFL. Evans was the 7th overall pick in 2014 and has been an absolute machine ever since, posting 1,000-yard receiving seasons every single year of his career through 2024. That's an NFL record for a receiver, and it's the kind of consistency that translates directly into contract renewals and bigger paychecks. His most recent 2-year, $52 million extension in 2024 came on top of a previous 5-year, $82.5 million deal from 2018, meaning Tampa Bay has basically been writing him blank checks for a decade because he delivers every single season without fail. But Evans isn't just cashing checks. He's building an empire through smart endorsements with Nike, Body Armor, and Foot Locker that add millions annually. His real estate portfolio includes a $5 million lakefront estate in Hernando County, with its own football field and pool, plus properties in Houston near family. What sets Evans apart is his financial philosophy that he credits to his parents: save first, spend second. In interviews, he's mentioned investing the bulk of his income rather than blowing it on jets or yachts like some peers. His philanthropic side is equally impressive. The Mike Evans Family Foundation, founded in 2017, has given over $140,000 in scholarships to students in Tampa and Galveston, and he literally built the Mike Evans Youth Football Complex in Galveston for disadvantaged kids, actual fields with his name on them that will serve his hometown for generations. Evans once said, "The more I give away, the more God seems to bless me," which sounds cheesy until you realize he's backed it up with consistent action over years. The Galveston connection runs deep. He attended Ball High School there and returns regularly for clinics where fans treat him like royalty. He even refurbished his high school's football locker room and hosts annual Thanksgiving dinners for Galveston families. For a guy worth only $25 million compared to others on this list, Evans has built the kind of legacy money can't buy while still securing his financial future through disciplined wealth management. Number 7. Jadeveon Clowney, the controversial pass rusher. Speaking of money and headlines, Jadeveon Clowney sits at number 7 with a net worth around $31 million. And honestly, his story is a perfect example of how even controversy can't completely kill your earning potential if you're talented enough. Clowney burst onto the scene as the first overall pick by the Houston Texans in 2014 and spent 5 seasons terrorizing quarterbacks, posting 28 sacks and earning 3 straight Pro Bowl selections from 2016 to 2018. Here's where Clowney's financial journey gets messy and interesting. After his Houston stint ended, he bounced through Seattle, Tennessee, Cleveland, Baltimore, Carolina, and Dallas like he was collecting team jerseys. Despite injuries and team changes, his contracts remained substantial. The Texans franchise tagged him for $13 million in 2019, Cleveland paid him $13 million in 2021, and even as recently as 2024, Dallas signed him for $3.5 million. His cumulative NFL earnings have pushed his net worth to approximately $31 million, which sounds great until you realize it could have been significantly higher without the off-field drama. In 2023, Clowney pleaded guilty to misdemeanor assault from a 2021 Texas case, and Cleveland cut him for violating team rules in an unrelated incident. These legal troubles didn't destroy his career, but they definitely cost him money through missed games, reputation damage, and almost certainly lower contract offers than he would have received otherwise. To his credit, Clowney has owned his mistakes publicly, telling reporters he dealt with personal demons, but is now focused exclusively on football, which at least shows some self-awareness. Financially, Clowney diversified beyond just football salary. During his peak Houston years, he invested in real estate around Austin and Houston, and reports suggest he hired financial advisors to preserve capital as his career trajectory became less predictable. He also secured brand deals with Nike and Beats by Dre during his college days that carried into the NFL, adding endorsement income streams. Despite not being from Houston originally, Clowney embraced the city during his Texans tenure, hosting youth camps around NRG Stadium and becoming a fan favorite. His famous strip sack of Jacoby Brissett in his rookie year remains a highlight reel moment that Texans fans still reference. Though he now bounces between Dallas and Cleveland with family in Bryan/College Station, Clowney maintained Texas ties and credits Houston for making him a household name. His 2023 Super Bowl ring with Kansas City added a nice career cap, though by that point he was mostly a rotational player rather than the dominant force he was in Houston. Number 6. Andre Johnson, the Texans legend who stayed loyal. Now we're getting into the real Houston royalty. Andre Johnson sits at number 6 with a net worth around $35 million, and if you ask any longtime Texans fan who embodies their franchise, Johnson's name comes up first every single time. The third overall pick in 2003 spent 12 seasons in Houston, becoming the all-time franchise leader in basically every receiving category. 1,062 receptions, 14,185 yards, and 70 touchdowns while earning 7 Pro Bowl selections. Johnson's wealth came primarily from being one of the NFL's highest-paid receivers during his prime. He signed a 7-year, $67.8 million extension in 2010 that came on top of an earlier $59.75 million deal in 2007. And over his career, he made $106 million in salary alone, according to Celebrity Net Worth. That's generational wealth territory, and Johnson managed it remarkably well by avoiding the flashy spending that derails so many athletes financially. What sets Johnson apart is his relentlessly low-key approach to wealth. He invested in Houston real estate, reportedly owning a home in suburban Spring, Texas, plus properties in Florida, but he's never been one for tabloid headlines or Instagram flexing. Instead, he focused on security and giving back through the Andre Johnson Family Foundation, which assists teens from single-parent homes and has donated hundreds of thousands to Houston area causes over the years. The most famous example of Johnson's generosity is his annual tradition of spending roughly $19,000 buying toys for hundreds of foster children at Houston Child Protective Services centers during the holidays. He's done this for years without making a big publicity push about it, just showing up, buying gifts, and making kids' days better. He's also organized back-to-school drives and worked with local police on holiday gift programs, cementing his status as a community pillar rather than just a retired athlete collecting checks. Johnson's post-career moves have been equally smart. He does sideline TV commentary for Houston games and NFL Network, adding modest media income. And in 2021, he became president of the Lone Star Football League, an indoor league developing Texas football talent. These aren't massive paydays, but they keep him engaged with the sport he loves while maintaining income streams beyond his playing days' earnings. His career was remarkably drama-free. No PED scandals, no major suspensions, no legal issues worth mentioning. In 2019, he sued someone for social media defamation, but that was a minor blip in an otherwise pristine reputation. Johnson signed a one-day contract to retire as a Texan, and his jersey number 80 hangs in the Texans' Ring of Honor. He's inducted in the Houston Sports Hall of Fame and regularly refers to Houston as "my city, my home" in interviews, showing that loyalty can coexist with financial success if you manage it correctly. Number 5. Jaylen Waddle, Houston's young speedster building wealth. Before we get to the top 4, let's talk about the youngest player on this list who's already stacking serious money. Jaylen Waddle sits at number 5 with a rapidly growing net worth estimated to be in the $40+ million range after his 2024 contract extension. And honestly, his financial trajectory might be the steepest on this entire list. Born and raised in Houston's Champions area, Waddle was a 6th overall pick by Miami in 2021 and immediately started breaking records by posting 1,000+ receiving yards in each of his first 4 seasons. An explosive pace that translated directly into a massive payday. In May 2024, Waddle signed a 4-year, $84.75 million extension with Miami that includes roughly $35.9 million guaranteed and a $28.25 million average annual salary. That single contract catapulted his net worth from approximately $2 million in 2023 to well into 8 figures literally overnight, making him one of the highest-paid receivers in football. Add in the endorsement deals with Nike, who signed him as a rookie, Raising Cane's, Panini, and Truist, and you've got multiple income streams feeding his wealth. His Houston connection runs deep. Waddle starred at Alief Hastings and St. Pius X before transferring to Episcopal High School in Bel Air, and he still refers to Houston as his first hometown. In summer 2021, he held a football camp at Episcopal and donated part of his rookie salary to local charities. He continues supporting Texas Children's Hospital and has proudly claimed his Southside H-Town roots in interviews. While he lives in Miami year-round now, the Houston ties remain strong. Both Texans and Eagles fans claim him as their own whenever he lights up the stat sheet. Waddle's lifestyle balances youth with fiscal responsibility. He's fond of fast cars and is famous for crashing a Ferrari in college, but reports suggest he's calmed down considerably, focusing on family and smart investments. His off-field passion for music shows a creative side. He occasionally posts raps, proving he's building a multifaceted brand beyond just football. With 3 Pro Bowl selections already and years of elite play ahead, Waddle's wealth trajectory could eventually surpass everyone on this list if he maintains his production and health. Number 4. Arian Foster, the undrafted millionaire who lives like he's broke. Now, this is where things get really interesting financially. Arian Foster sits at number 4 with a net worth around $50 million. But what makes his story absolutely fascinating is how he built that wealth and, more importantly, how he refuses to spend it. Foster was an undrafted free agent in 2009 who became the Houston Texans franchise running back, leading the NFL in rushing yards twice in 2010 and 2011, and earning 4 Pro Bowl selections while accumulating 8,302 career rushing yards. Foster's NFL earnings totaled about $37.7 million in base salary, including a lucrative 2010 deal with an $18 million signing bonus and a 2013 5-year, $43.9 million extension. Those are solid numbers, but what really built Foster's wealth was his incredibly savvy investing during and after his playing career. In 2013, Foster invested early in Health Warrior, a health bar startup, taking a minority stake that PepsiCo eventually acquired in 2018. Reports suggest Foster made significant returns on that investment, potentially millions, though exact figures weren't disclosed. But here's what's wild about Foster. Despite having $50 million, he famously lives like he's broke, according to multiple interviews. He avoided flashy cars during his playing days, reportedly driving a modest vehicle to practice while teammates rolled up in Bentleys and Lambos. Instead of buying mansions and jewelry, he quietly invested in cryptocurrency, real estate, and the stock market, letting his money work for him rather than displaying it. He co-founded a music streaming startup called Radiant Thing and built a side career as an online musician under the alias Bobby Fino, showing creative diversification beyond just traditional athlete investments. Foster's minimalist lifestyle philosophy is refreshing in a sport where financial ruin after retirement is depressingly common. He's spoken extensively about disciplined saving and avoiding the lifestyle inflation trap that catches most NFL players. In one interview, he said, "I don't regret one dime I haven't spent," perfectly capturing his approach to wealth preservation. This mindset allowed him to retire comfortably at just 29 in 2016 after injuries derailed his career, transitioning smoothly into entrepreneurship and music without financial stress. His philanthropic work through the Arian Foster Family Foundation has raised over $125,000 for underprivileged Houston youth and families, focusing specifically on healthy food access and financial literacy, basically teaching kids the same money lessons that made him wealthy. He's hosted annual football camps and toy drives in Houston, maintaining deep community ties even after retirement. The Texans retired his number 23 in 2022, cementing his legacy, and Foster continues referencing Houston as home in interviews and social media posts. Foster's path from undrafted to millionaire entrepreneur is genuinely inspirational, proving that financial success in the NFL doesn't require being a first-round pick. It requires discipline, smart investing, and the humility to live below your means, even when you could afford literally anything. His story deserves more attention in financial literacy circles because it's a masterclass in wealth building that contradicts every stereotype about athlete spending. Number 3. Jalen Hurts, Houston's Super Bowl champion. Tied with Foster but sitting at number 3 with a completely different trajectory is Jalen Hurts, the Houston-born quarterback currently sitting on a fortune around $50 million and climbing fast. Born in Channelview in 1998, Hurts went from Texas Mr. Football at Channelview High School to Alabama national champion to Oklahoma Heisman, finalist to Philadelphia Eagles, franchise quarterback, capping it off with Super Bowl 59 MVP honors in February 2025. That's a storybook career, and the money reflects it. Hurts' wealth exploded in April 2023 when he signed a 5-year, $255 million contract with the Eagles, the richest quarterback contract at signing, including $110 million guaranteed and a $51 million average annual salary. That single deal instantly transformed him from promising young player to generational wealth territory, and he hasn't even hit his prime earning years yet. Celebrity Net Worth estimates his current fortune at $50 million, but that number will skyrocket as his contract progresses and endorsements pile up. Speaking of endorsements, Hurts has been remarkably strategic about building his brand beyond football. He inked alleged 7-figure per year deals with Jordan, Nike, Hulu, Pepsi, Oakley, and Gillette, diversifying his income streams while maintaining a clean and marketable image. What's particularly notable is that Hurts hired an all-female business team to manage his brand and finances, a move that generated positive publicity while showing forward-thinking business strategy. His media presence is carefully curated, inspirational without being preachy, confident without being arrogant. The wildest rumor about Hurts' finances circulated in 2023 when social media claimed he donated his entire $5.7 million signing bonus to charity and homeless relief. This story spread like wildfire, but was never officially confirmed by Hurts or his team, falling into that gray area between heartwarming legend and unverified internet myth. Regardless of that specific claim's accuracy, Hurts does engage in significant philanthropic work, supporting youth football camps in Oklahoma and Texas while advocating for women in sports through various initiatives. His lifestyle appears surprisingly modest for someone on a $255 million contract. He's not known for super luxury purchases or tabloid-worthy spending. Instead, reports suggest he invested a significant portion of his signing bonus into diversified portfolios for long-term wealth building. He did buy a few Philadelphia area properties to house extended family, which is smart real estate investing that doubles as generosity. Hurts married his college sweetheart Brianna in 2022, and their relationship frequently appears in magazine features without any drama or controversy, maintaining his squeaky clean public image. The Houston connection runs incredibly deep, despite Hurts never playing pro ball there. Channelview still claims him as their own, and he visits youth programs in the area during off-seasons. Local fans proudly point out that he's following in the footsteps of Houston area quarterbacks like Warren Moon and represents the city on the biggest stages. His redemption arc from being benched at Alabama to Super Bowl MVP is genuinely inspirational and has made him a cultural figure beyond just football success. Number 2, Deshaun Watson, the $60 million controversy. And now we enter the truly complicated territory. Deshaun Watson sits at number 2 with a net worth around $60 million, but his story is probably the most divisive on this entire list because you literally cannot separate the money from the controversy surrounding it. Watson was drafted 12th overall by the Texans in 2017 and quickly became one of the NFL's most electric quarterbacks, posting multiple 4,000-yard seasons and earning Pro Bowl and All-Pro honors in 2018 to 2019 while leading Houston to playoff appearances. From a pure financial perspective, Watson has secured absolutely generational wealth. His 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed contract with Cleveland in 2022 was the largest in NFL history at signing, and he followed that with a 5-year, $255 million extension in April 2023, averaging $51 million annually with $110 million guaranteed. Forbes ranked him among the top 10 highest-paid NFL players, and his total NFL earnings to date exceed $100 million in salary and bonuses alone. Add in endorsement deals with Nike's Jordan brand, Gillette, Pepsi, and Columbia, plus an investment company he formed and deals with financial firms like Lincoln, and you're looking at someone who will never need to worry about money again. But here's where Watson's story gets impossibly messy. In 2021, he was sued in dozens of civil lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct during massage sessions, leading to an 11-game suspension and forcing the Texans to trade him to Cleveland. The allegations cost him major endorsement money. Nike suspended his contract, and other brands paused deals entirely. The Browns' contract included no performance bonus incentives specifically because of the legal uncertainty surrounding him, which is basically unheard of for a quarterback of his caliber. After settling the lawsuits in early 2024, Watson returned to play, attempting a public redemption arc that has divided fans completely. Some people separate the player from the person and focus on his on-field production, which is roughly 8,000 yards and 52 touchdowns with Cleveland through 2025. But many others refuse to support him regardless of his play, arguing that wealth and talent don't excuse alleged behavior. It's legitimately one of the most complicated cases in modern sports of how we evaluate someone's success when their personal conduct is deeply questioned. Interestingly, Watson's philanthropic work in Houston was genuinely significant before the controversy. He directed Hurricane Harvey relief in 2017, committing over $200,000 to buy supplies and housing for storm victims. He pledged $100,000 to Dallas tornado relief and donated to local hospitals regularly. He hosted Christmas parties for foster kids and gave end-of-season sneakers to Houston schools, building real community goodwill that the legal issues later damaged. Financially, Watson maintains homes near Houston and in Cleveland, reflecting his split-team history. Reports suggest he lives relatively privately, keeping to himself off the field, which given the circumstances probably helps him avoid additional scrutiny. His story raises uncomfortable questions about separating athletic achievement and financial success from personal conduct, and there's genuinely no consensus answer. What's undeniable is that Watson's $60 million net worth represents both incredible earning power and one of the most controversial paths to wealth in recent NFL history. Number 1. Michael Strahan, the $80 million media mogul. And here we are at number 1. Michael Strahan with a net worth around $80 million, representing what might be the most successful post-NFL transition in sports history. Born in Houston in 1971, Strahan played his senior high school year at Westbury High School and starred at Texas Southern University before the New York Giants drafted him in the second round in 1993. Over 15 seasons, he compiled 141.5 career sacks, including a then single-season record 22.5 in 2001, earned 7 Pro Bowls, and helped the Giants win Super Bowl 42 before retiring as a Hall of Fame defensive end. But here's what makes Strahan's wealth story fascinating. His NFL career earnings were substantial at roughly $76 million over 15 seasons, with a peak year in 2002 earning $20.6 million, including a $15.6 million signing bonus. But that's not where the real money came from. Strahan's post-NFL pivot into media and business is what truly built his empire. By 2026, his main income streams are co-hosting Good Morning America at approximately $25 million annually, and Fox NFL work adding millions more. That's right, he's making more per year now than he ever did playing football, which is basically unheard of for retired athletes. Strahan co-founded Smack Entertainment, a sports management and branding company, and launched multiple fashion lines that generate significant revenue. His business savvy extends to real estate, where he's repeatedly flipped luxury properties for massive profits. He bought and renovated a Bel Air home, selling it for $11 million after purchasing it for $7.9 million. A 15,600 square foot Brentwood estate netted him a $5.5 million profit. These aren't small side hustles. They're strategic wealth-building moves that compound his television income into generational money. What's particularly impressive about Strahan is his disciplined approach to wealth management despite his media-rich lifestyle. He primarily resides in New York for television work, but maintains smart investments across real estate, business ventures, and diversified portfolios. His savvy extends beyond just making money to keeping and growing it, which separates him from athletes who earn similar amounts but end up broke. Forbes and Celebrity Net Worth consistently peg his fortune around $80 million, and that number keeps climbing as his media career expands. Strahan's personal life has had its bumps. A highly publicized 2006 divorce that involved selling a rare basketball court home. But he kept his finances solid throughout and maintained his earning power. His charisma and relatability have made him a mainstream star far beyond football, winning daytime Emmys for Live. With Kelly and Michael and becoming one of America's most recognizable TV personalities. He once said, "My success isn't just luck. It's years of hard work, on the field and in business," perfectly capturing his mindset. Despite his New York and Los Angeles lifestyle, Strahan maintains Houston pride and occasionally visits Texas Southern University. He's participated in charity events including raising $400,000 for St. Jude's Hospital and working on breast cancer awareness through Good Morning America. He once said, "Houston gave me my start. I'll never forget the Bayou City," showing that even with $80 million and a national media career, he remembers his roots. His relatively scandal-free personal life and focus on family time and investments have kept him in the public's good graces while building wealth that will support multiple generations. So there you have it, the 8 richest black NFL players with deep Houston ties, from Mike Evans' $25 million built on consistency to Michael Strahan's $80 million media empire. Which story surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And for more interesting peeks into the lives of rich black celebrities, subscribe to Black Status.